This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Skip Money.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast of the Tri-Cities, Western North Carolina, and Southwest Virginia, live. So today I'm super excited to have a very special guest in the studio with us for the first time, and I'm sure you'll be just as excited, particularly if you're as big of a fan of cake as I am, because today I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Mr. Timmy Norman, who is the owner-operator of CakeBuds Bakery. Timmy, welcome to the show.
Hey, Skip. Thanks so much for having me on.
Absolutely. We're thrilled to have you. Like I said, I'm a big fan of cake, so I'm automatically a big fan of yours, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners and viewers are as well. So if you don't mind, why don't you kick us off by telling us about CakeBuds Bakery?
Absolutely. CakeBuds started about technically about 17 years ago, making a cake for my son. But I opened the bakery in 2011 and just did the storefront thing for quite a while making custom orders. And then as of this year, I transitioned to just private studio only, no storefront, just doing custom orders, primarily the more sculpted, elaborate style cakes, as well as like some brand collaborations and things like that. So just kind of a bit of a transition, but still doing all local orders. So just to order basis now.
Very cool. Now, you kind of touched on this, how you started, but how did you get into baking, into cake baking?
Yeah, I grew up being very artistic. I went to art school at ETSU and studied graphic design. So kind of got integrated into the area. And then I had a son, and my mom had always made my cakes growing up. And so we kind of skipped over the first birthday and like did a very basic cake. A local friend of ours made a cake. And then for my son's second birthday, I was like, I'd really like for him to have one of those cool cakes that you see on TV. And didn't know anyone that could do it, but knew that I was a sculptor and had done previous sculpted projects. And so I was like, well, I think if I could learn the medium of cake, I could probably make a sculpted cake. And so I gave it a shot for his second birthday. I made like a basic sculpted train cake, and it was good enough that friends and family began to ask if I could make cakes for them, which just kind of springboarded me into making cakes full time.
Wow. And here you are making these big, beautiful cakes. So what are some myths or misconceptions in the bakery business or cake business, if that's a separate industry from baking?
Yeah, I think the biggest misconception is probably related around fondant. I get lots of customers who hate fondant. I think probably because they tried it years ago when fondant was only store bought, which did taste really weird. But now I make all of my fondant in house, and it is literally just powdered sugar and marshmallows. It's the only two ingredients. So if you dislike marshmallows or vanilla, you would hate fondant, but otherwise it's the only two ingredients. So lots of customers don't want me to use it, and I'm happy to do whatever they wish. But I think sometimes it's just a misconception that it's bad based on word of mouth.
On word of mouth. Wow.
Yeah.
So, powdered sugar and marshmallows.
And marshmallows. Yeah. That's all it is.
Sounds delicious to me.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's really sweet. I get it.
Yeah. I love it. Well, you've been in business since 2011, which is, congratulations. Yeah. That's fantastic. Who are your target clients, customers that you try to reach to, and how do you
really anyone that wants something special. I really love doing elaborate cakes. I really love capturing someone's interest. So like I'm getting ready to start working on a old Ford F-250. It's like a 1995, saying old when I'm like much older than that. But so like capturing something that someone like has a lot of interest in. Like I did a travel themed cake recently. So I really love connecting with customers and doing something that they will see and be like, oh, that's me in cake form. Like I really love capturing that moment for people. I once did a sculpted car cake of someone who had given birth in that car. And so this was like years later, like someone was like doing a cake for their mom, and they were like, I want to do this car that she birthed me in. And so like it was a really cool like experience to like see her expression when she's seen this cake of this car that has like a really special memory for her. So just really capturing those memories in an edible form is like something that whoever you are, I'm sure you have something that you would love to see made out of cake, and I would love to do that for you.
What kind of car was it?
Gosh, I really believe that it was an old Pinto, but I can't remember. This was years ago. I remember it was a very old like
Wow.
car that you don't see anymore. I think it was a Pinto, but I don't remember.
Oh man. Oh man, I'd love to see that. And you said you're working on an F-250
Yeah, I'm getting ready to start an F-250
cake?
for a groom's cake. So it's gonna have like the bride and groom's dogs in it as well. So it's gonna be really cool and really special.
Wow. Wow. I gotta see that. That is too cool.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely
Well,
be posting it on my socials.
out definitely, please, please. So, outside of work, what do you like to do for fun?
Yeah, so I'm like big into being active. So I love like things like kayaking or running. I'm a big runner. Currently training for the Miami Marathon in January. So I love all things like being outdoors, hiking, riding my motorcycle, like anything that's outdoors. I just love getting into.
Well, with all that sugar, you gotta burn the energy somehow, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Just kidding, just kidding. So, let's switch gears for just a second. Can you describe a hardship or a life challenge that you've overcome, either professionally or personally, and how made you stronger coming out the other side?
Sure. I think being a business owner, one of the biggest you know, things that you experience and go through is like how differently things can change and how quickly. So like being in business for as long as I have, I've seen quite a few things. I mean, surviving COVID was a big one for the bakery. And then like most recently transitioning from, a storefront into a studio. So like the ability to like adapt when things are changing and like find the correct path forward has always been a challenge. And fortunately, I've like so far have made decisions that have kind of helped me stay on path and help me stay in business. So I think that is probably the hardest part about running a business is like constantly finding the right paths when things are changing. Um, it's always is great to have a good support system in those kinds of endeavors, but I'm very fortunate and very happy to say that I've like been able to keep up with all the changes that happen in running a business.
Gotta be able to pivot. That's important.
Yes, it is so important.
Absolutely. Well, Timmy, if you could think of one thing that you'd like our listeners to remember about CakeBuds Bakery, what would that be?
That I love to like make your memories out of cake. Like it's something that's very important to me. Like it's every year I do my son's birthday cake, and I always count it as like my anniversary of cake decorating, and I always try to incorporate, a memory from his year. And so I think it's very important. I think it's fun. So like I love for my viewers to like when they come to me for a cake, like let's create something that's like really memorable, something that's really going to evoke some emotion from you. I love to capture that. It's a challenge and it's fun. I love challenges.
Well, it's very cool too. Got
Thank
got
you.
got to say that. So for those of us that may have an occasion coming up, they're intrigued by hearing you're making a F-250 with dogs on the back of it, or
Yeah.
a Pinto. How can we learn more?
Yeah, I'm pretty active on social media. So Facebook and Instagram, as well as some TikTok and YouTube. So CakeBuds JC on most of those, or just CakeBuds on Facebook. I tend to do a lot of TV shows, so I'm always posting those on my social media. So it's a great way to keep up with what's happening. And if you're ever wanting a cake, the easiest way to get a quote is my website, mycakebuds.com. There's a custom quote form. It's really easy. You just fill that out, send over some photos, and I'm pretty quick to respond and get you a price quote.
Awesome. And how long does it take usually? I guess it depends on what the cake is, but let's say it's a vehicle.
Yeah, it really depends. I was most recently on a show on Food Network called Super Mega Cakes. And since that aired, I've been much, much busier. So right now I'm sometimes booking a few weeks in advance. So it's a little more high demand than it's typically doing, which I'm trying to pivot in that as well. So typically a good 2-week notice is best, but right now it's unfortunately a little bit farther out. So I always recommend, when you know you need something, to go ahead and reach out and we'll get you on the schedule.
Awesome. Well, hey, good things take time, Great things take even longer. So
They do.
very cool. Very cool. Well, Timmy, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking time out of your obviously busy schedule to spend some time with our viewers and listeners, and wish you, your family, and CakeBuds Bakery all the best moving forward.
Thank you so much, Skip.
Love to have you back sometime. Maybe you can do a
Anytime.
demonstration for her.
Oh, that'd be great.
All right, man. You have a great rest of the day.
You too.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnptry-cities.com. That's gnptry-cities.com, or call 423-719-5873.